I am Nahed Kabbani, and this is the Lighthouse for today's viewers. Welcome to our show. Today, I have a guest from my first family in Sacramento, which is Access Sacramento. He is a friend of us in the group. He is a producer, and I want him to introduce himself to you. Welcome to our show. I don't know you. Can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
There I am. Hello. How are you? Thank you for having me here. And you're right, we are a family here at Access, and it's always good to see you. And when I come in, I get a nice warm feeling when I see you, because I can always talk to you about things, and you're always supportive. And thank you very much. Yeah, we are a family here.
What's your name?
I'm Windwalker. Everybody calls me Windwalker. That's my Cheyenne name. I'm Nathan Windwalker Cagle, but everybody knows me by Wind. And so I do 2 shows here. I'm a producer of Yes to You, which is a life coach program. And we give out free life coaching lessons and classes for people that couldn't afford it. And that's real exciting. And then I do a show for veterans called Forgotten Warrior. And that's a program that we educate veterans about re-entry program. So both of the life coaching and the veterans program, we work together, because we do counseling, re-entry program counseling for combat veterans. Yeah.
I'm always interested to hear from you. You have a lot of things we were chit-chat about it, background, and also what you're doing as a nonprofit organization. So we'll talk about details, but give our viewers some little bit about your background.
My background? Yes. Oh my goodness.
Short.
Well, it's
short.
It's short. It's very colorful. Yeah, I come from a very dysfunctional background, like a lot of us out there. A very dysfunctional family. On the streets. I was a drug user. I suffered from PTSD from the military. Rode with a motorcycle club. Ended up in prison. Went from there to the church. Got ordained. Left that church. Went into Native American spirituality. Left there. Did tour in Europe. Metaphysical stuff. And ended up going back to one of the teachers that taught me what I'm here for was Buddha. And Buddha said, with all the pain and suffering I've had to go through, when all I had to do was look inside myself. And so that's people like Buddha and Eckhart Tolle and Wayne Dyer are the people that helped me get on my path to where I am now. Yeah. Colorful past.
I meant to do that just because, to inspire our viewers.
Right.
Because what you're doing now is the result of what you taught yourself after what you have been doing, bad or good. You learn from that, and that's why you are doing what you're doing now, helping people through your experience, which is life experience is very important.
I have a saying is that without knowing darkness, we could not appreciate the light. And so, like these glasses full of water, we are vessels. We hold either pain and sorrow, or we hold love and kindness. And I've held a lot of the bad stuff for a lot of years, but when I got rid of that, I had a good vessel that I could hold a lot more good stuff. So
yes, I agree with you. And also when we talk from time to time in the lab, we mentioned so many things about my organization, your organization, my one word, what is the mission of your work, what is the mission of, you almost bring the same mission as my organization, to know each other and love each other the same way. And even you mentioned sometime that you read the Quran, which you surprised me.
I've read it twice.
What did you find in Quran?
Well, it was very educational. What I did find is that most of the American public is not educated when it comes to Muslims or the Quran. And as a studying priest, I really wanted to know about other religions. How can you be a teacher if you're not educated in other philosophies? And so I never could read enough of all the philosophies. And the more I read, the more I realized that, the organized part of man, there is no one to me. My God isn't better than your God, and that's where I think we've gotten in this society. And it's the Muslim philosophy is very hallowed. I didn't see anything in there saying let's kill all Americans. I just couldn't find that. And when I've had these conversations with other people, I get a real interesting response, and I think a lot of people are just kind of brainwashed.
Yes, media.
Yeah. So we need to change that, and that's what I do in my life coaching. Is use consciousness. Yeah. We need to be in the now, thinking, be informed, be aware. Yeah.
Absolutely. Lack of knowledge will bring bad things, because if we don't know anything about this person who has become neighbor now, he is not in the Middle East, or she is not far away, how can we be friends, or how can we be good neighbors as neighborhood?
Yes.
We have to know a little bit about even neighbors. They are American now.
Right. Well,
as I always mention, my flowers.
Yeah.
This is the bouquet of flowers. This is America.
Yeah.
All flowers, all kind of colors and roses, and all kind of aroma.
Yeah.
Build up America. So we are part of it. You are part of it.
Well,
the other person part of it.
Our Native American culture talks about that. And there's the 4 colors. So the red skin is the Asian, is the Native American Hispanic. The black skin is the African, of course. The yellow skin is your Asian, and the white skin is the Euros.
Yes.
So
there are 4 races, 4 colors.
The hoop of life.
Yes.
So
and America is really, I see it, the symbol of the whole world, the small world. That's why it's easy to reach out and know other ethnicity in America, because they all around, and they are American also.
Well, you were sharing with me a lot of your culture.
Yes, that's
is
fine.
Very similar to some of my old teachings in the Native American way. And I mean, there's a lot.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes. So when we have open mind, when we open to talk, when we reach out and talk to other person or other ethnicity, we will find a lot of things in common. We can count on it to build up relationship, better relationship for tomorrow. It happened that by chance this week I heard about church want to have the Easter celebration, and they are not able to do it at their church. The lease is over or something. Now they seek the mosque, Salam Mosque, to do the celebration, the Christian celebration in the mosque.
Yeah.
It is something new for maybe the viewers or the American, but it is their search now after they accept the deal, and Access Sacramento will tape it also.
Wow.
It happened this way in 7th century once. 7th century.
Wow.
But in the meantime, the mosque or the Muslim people used to pray before they have their center, used to pray in churches.
Yeah, they shared.
So religion or God houses for everybody, not for this religion or that religion. So this is what we learn from reaching out, find out what other people think or do. When we find things in common, so no borders, and celebrations and religious celebrations and music and cultural festivals are the best way to connect with the whole world. So that's why you are here today. I have a lot of things to tell my viewers through you.
All right.
So let's talk more after the break.
Okay.
We'll be back soon.
You're watching The Lighthouse for today's viewers, brought to you by oneworldforyou.org.
So, as you heard, so many interesting things came to us from our guest, Windwalker. Now we will find out about his program, International Life Coaching. So let him talk about it for us.
Sure, thank you.
Yours.
So yeah, it's a program that I started. I've been certified through 2 life coaching programs, and they were great programs, but they didn't have what I needed for trauma. And in my research, because I suffered from trauma, in my research I found that a lot of the people on the sites, they have the answer. Everybody has the answer on websites, whatever life coach it is, whether it's a hypnotist or a nutritionist, whatever, they all have the answers. If you notice, they're all, they have the answers. But I really believe none of those people have the answers. I believe that you have the answer, and it's all here. But what you don't have is the tools. And so what I teach is the conscious thinking tools, how to identify an obstacle in life and how to change it. So in our program, we say there are no mistakes, only feedback. So we learn from our mistakes, but that's where we learn and change the time frame. So if you're a depressed person or suffer from anxiety, then we work with that issue. And what we do is we teach you how to use positive self-talk to overcome negative self-talk. Now there's a article just recently published in the Medical Society, and they're saying that stress is the biggest killer in America right now. This next generation of children will not outlive their parents because of obesity. We have a very sick public. They're not eating properly. We're stressed out. We're not getting
It's up with everything.
So part of this is teaching people how to take that back, how to be how to be conscious in nutrition. So we don't just do healthy body or healthy mind, but healthy body, healthy mind. So we're organic. We have a lot of supplements that we suggest. And it's amazing the change that we're seeing in our pilot program for the veterans. Now, the veterans that come into the program come in free. Now, I do have paying clients that come in, but I take anybody in if they're a student, if they work for another service agency, if they can't afford what my normal fee is, I say, what can you afford? And that's so I don't know anybody doing that, and that's because I'm committed to change. It's not about the money. It's about the change, about the consciousness. And I believe if I stay focused on being the best life coach I can be, then the money's going to come down the road, and that's what it's all about.
You are a non-profit organization.
I am a non-profit.
And you have the website.
Have I had what?
Website?
Yeah, I have a website.
What is that?
I have 2 websites. I have the forgottenwarrior.org, and then I have...
For this program, what
the International Life Coaching is, all you have to do is go to yes2you.org, and that's what I say on the show, say yes to you.
Okay.
But yeah, and then, or International Life Coaching Association.
And your TV show about this to you,
when yes to you is on
plays.
Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, Channel 17, Access, Sacramento. Yeah.
Like tonight.
Like tonight. I'm on at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm on in a half hour.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Also, I believe as non-profit organization, the prices are really reasonable without mentioning anything, but I guess it's reasonable for everybody.
Well, the non-profit part is for the veteran. Any veteran that comes to me with trauma is free.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the non-profit part
I mean the list of prices, it's not too high.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the prices are very, they vary depending on the income of the person. And again, if you're a student, then I make it available for you. If you're a disabled person on a fixed income, I make it available. So,
So, in other words, you are there to help anybody.
I'm committed.
It depends on their situation.
That's
you
right.
work with each person as much as you could from your side to help him his side.
That's right. I'm committed to helping, and it's just lots of times people aren't even paying for the program, but I have them pay for something so they're invested in it.
Yes, to feel the seriousness.
They're invested.
Sure.
The value.
Also, I guess I was thinking of your program for groups like the immigrant now or refugees cannot adjust easily in this country. It's in their mind, in their background, struggle to start a new life. I was thinking of hiring you for that purpose.
Well, you wouldn't even have to hire me because my commitment is that any nonprofit, any other organization is that is committed to community, then I'm committed.
Partnering with you for those seminars to our group of
Sure.
refugees
Sure.
around us in Carmichael.
Sure.
There is a lot of
Sure. So the first
Iraqi
thing I
refugees.
tell them is don't believe what you hear on TV. Don't be in the lack of thinking. You know, everybody's lack of. There's a lot going on out
Yes,
there,
yes.
and it's the entrepreneurs like us that are going to change that consciousness.
Yes,
you know.
because we already suffer from things we believe it should be different, and we fix it up through our life. Now we can look at the other to give back to the community through our experience.
Yeah.
And that's what I like.
People working
from you.
together.
Yes.
I mean, that's awesome. And that's what we'll end up going back to. I think it's a great idea. And we need to do more community services.
Yes.
We need to have people doing exchanges. And, you know, I think
Yes.
that's great.
I believe this time in our country, we need more community, helping communities, because of the government have their own issues, and they're stuck in the corner with rules, and those rules and issues will not connect the right way with the people.
Right.
What they need, what people need, somebody feel with them one-on-one
Right.
and help them through what they know on the street.
Right.
So I believe what you're doing is very valuable.
Thank you.
And hopefully everybody needed will benefit from that.
That's my mission. One person at a time, but I'm going for the world.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Yeah, I'm really positive about what you're doing. I know you struggle like us.
Yeah.
Every non-profit is struggling now, but we have a mission. We have to do it. We have to go for it.
That's right.
So anyway, we'll find out how many chapters you teach in this course, or which topics you touch base. And maybe we'll give you an idea about what we need, that you direct your seminar
Okay. Sure.
around what we need.
Sure.
Are you dealing with the young fellows, youth
I am
with the
using-
drug and...
I am doing a lot more younger people now, and I'm also going to be working with one of the schools, local schools, on a three segment program, anti-drug, anti-gang, but and again using conscious thinking, in the now thinking, positive thinking, yeah. So that's exciting. Of course, I'm just editing a book that I've written called "Warning Thinking Could Be Hazardous to Your Health."
Okay.
and so once that's done, then I'm gonna write another book for children, specifically for children, because the adults are hard. You know, I'm working with adults, and it is a lot of work because they've been so programmed for so long. The comfort zone, they've been so many programs up here that it's hard to change right away. But children, I think we can really get a change with right away.
If you caught the children before it become too much, too hard to fix it up,
That's right.
you will help the new generation to
That's
get
right.
raised the right way, because
That's right.
we have street messed up with a lot of bad things for young generation, and the bad thing, unfortunately, that there is a lot of free time. They just use it with that electric things, texting or telephone or whatever. They have empty time, no goal, and no serious matters, and no family around to take care of them in the right time,
Exactly.
with the right moment.
Exactly.
They need some kind of program like
Yeah, they're
this.
limited in tools to grow with. They don't have a
Yes.
lot of tools.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the parents are so busy with other things. The last thing they think about it, share with their kids some time.
Well, they were programmed by their parents, and they were programmed by their parents.
Absolutely.
So we've got a lot of outdated thinking. So we got to
Absolutely.
start over again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's have a break,
All right.
and we'll talk about the other issue.
Okay.
oneworldforyou.org, promoting cultural understanding through the media.
Okay. Now we will have other thing from Windwalker, very interested and very important, that what he is doing for veteran.
Thank you. What I'm doing right now in the community, Sacramento community, is I have a nonprofit for right now mostly homeless veterans. Some of them are in the program that aren't homeless, but I have a reentry program, and because I suffered from PTSD and went through all the reentry program or the trauma programs that the VA has, and it didn't work for me. I found out that if it didn't work for me, I'm sure it didn't work for others. So as I was doing volunteer work in the field, feeding these homeless people and taking them to drug and alcohol rehab centers, I found that nobody was really giving them reentry programs. They're getting drug and alcohol treatments, but they're not getting a treatment for the PTSD itself. Psychotherapy they're getting, drugs they're getting. Now that may work for some veterans, but it didn't work for me, and it doesn't work for a lot of the other veterans. So my reentry program is based on nutrition and cognitive thinking, cognitive therapy. So it's teaching people what neuroscience is, how the brain works, why you have emotions. And I teach my clients and my veterans that they have an enemy in their head, an entity in their head that requires a lot of emotion. So every time that entity, we call it the pain body, pushes a button, you act out. We also know that, and that's part of the fight or flight of our brain. So we have a conscious part of the brain and a subconscious part of the brain. The subconscious has all the old programs. That's where all the traumas and damage is. But there's also the pain body in there. Okay. Now, if you want to get rid of this pain body, you have to get with the conscious thinking mind. And the part of the consciousness in the brain is also the spiritual consciousness. So those two work really good. So you got to have faith that you can do it. You got to have commitment. And then you have to have repetition. So all the things that you've learned to do over time that weren't good, like bad habits, eating, alcohol, smoking, all those bad habits, all those things that we've programmed ourselves through over the years, you're going to have to learn to reprogram it with positive habits. So that's what we do. We give them tools and positive habits. There is no magic wand that's going to change them instantly, but we get some really positive results in 3 months. And in 6 months, a lot of these people are living back with their families. So part of the program is not just treating the veterans, it's also treating the family members, teaching them why. Because they actually suffer from PTSD because they're around the person with PTSD. It's just like catching a disease.
So you mentioned the homeless, veteran homeless. Do you take them home, or do you have home for them, or just?
Okay. Well, what I do is some of the guys. I don't have a facility. We're still trying to get a facility, but that takes money and grants, and we're still looking for a grant writer and those things. But what I am doing is that if we put them in a program if they need a program, and then we've got a couple guys I've placed into HUD, so now they're in cheap housing. And that's exciting. And then we get them we get donated furniture and clothing. We're working on a trailer now so that we can go into the field and do the triage and hand out food and clothing. And that part I love. I mean, I'm doing that all the time. I can't tell you the satisfaction in my heart I get when I can give a person out there that needs a jacket or a pair of shoes or some food. I can't tell you what it does for my soul. It's amazing. It's just totally, there's no money on this planet that can even compare to that.
To begin with, it's very sad, very, very sad to see our veterans, after they serve the country, they are homeless and they are on the street. It's really sad.
25% of the homeless in Sacramento are veterans. 25%, a very large amount. And then the largest amount of homeless are women and children. That's another scary thing. It's just, so we're not only...
they are veterans. That means they serve the country.
That's right.
They deserve a little bit better life after all.
I think so, and that's my commitment. And there's a lot of communities, there's a lot of nonprofits like me, little guys, that are doing some really impacting things. Unfortunately, the VA has so much money and such a big organization that they kind of go for the masses and stuff. So that I think they mean well. I'm not saying bad things about the VA. I think they mean well.
They need some help.
But yeah, we really need to have veterans running the VA, because then we could focus on what the real needs are and how to address them. So yeah, and what's really exciting about the organization is I have women that have gone through traumas and young people that have gone through traumas in the group, and it really takes the trauma of combat fatigue out of the completely, and then they can really focus on their traumas.
Veteran didn't go for traveling.
Yeah.
They went for
fighting,
service, for fighting, for war.
Yeah.
What it will bring the more than bad image and bad things for their own feeling.
Yeah.
Killing or war is war.
Right. That's the
full
program.
Yes.
More programming,
full of
more programming.
Full
yeah.
of bad things.
Well,
when they come home, they will not be the same person.
Right. And they're programmed to be killers. I mean, they're programmed to be killers. So there's no reprogram after you get back. And these kids today, Vietnam, there was maybe 2 tours. Today, these kids are doing 4 and 5 tours. It's a whole different type of war, and back then we had Agent Orange. Now we're dealing with depleted uranium, which has an effect on the brain. And that's why we're hearing every now and then a veteran that this kid that killed those people and died of exposure up in the mountains. A lot of people think that they're crazy. They're not crazy. They suffer. They're damaged.
Yes.
We need, this guy that shot these people in Afghan, he was suffering from PTSD. Now I'm sure they're going to hang him from a long loop. They shouldn't. He's a veteran. He needs help.
Yeah, we are everywhere, and we are helping the countries through war and through hard or heavy duty. But this person, his family lost him already. Even he is alive around him or them or something.
I hear it all the time.
He is different person after the war.
That's
after he come back.
Him and she and female.
He or she. That's why I feel they deserve better life.
Yeah.
But also, I guess organizations like yours deserve little help from the government.
Amen.
At least a home.
Well, I really it's a good idea if we can get some grant money from the government, but I don't concentrate on the government as much because I get better help from community. I think the community...
Absolutely. Yeah. They feel with you more.
It comes from the heart.
Yes, but I mean, there's a lot of empty places.
Yeah.
Why you don't apply for empty place to put those homeless at least? Give them a place to sleep. I've
been trying. It's tough.
It is tough.
We have people that just don't care. They got big buildings that have been vacant for years and they just don't care. We have millions of dollars we spend every year in taxpayers' money for these ships parked over in Carquinez Straits. They're all empty. Why don't we put homeless in there? I mean, we have places to put homeless, but we don't do that. We don't have a compassion. And until we get the community coming together and being more aware and conscious, then that's what we're going to be stuck with.
I guess we have lack of management in some departments, and it's really difficult to get involved with the government through their struggle to begin with. But when you give a hand to a program for the government should look at your program in good eye and good heart,
Well,
it's not for you, it's for the people you serve.
Yeah.
But anyway, usually we struggle until we stand on our feet. But our belief.
Just do the best you can do.
Your belief will push you to continue trying and trying, working and working until you get maybe a person, not government.
Yeah.
A person will be a key to help you through his knowledge or her knowledge to put you in touch with the right person in the government.
Gotta happen. Got to have faith. That's going to happen.
Yes,
we just keep doing the best we're doing. And I believe that will happen, that we will get contacted with the right people. And it's just a matter of time.
Yes.
In the meanwhile, we have to keep the program moving forward. That's the key.
Yeah. So you have website for that program?
Yes, we do. And that's called ForgottenWarrior.org. ForgottenWarrior.org.
Okay.
And there's a lot of information on there. And
and people can call and apply or keep in touch with you
this summer we're going to do a work program. We're looking for a building now we're looking for 2 buildings, one for a thrift store so that we can have some income and work for the veterans and a meeting place, and we're also looking for a small detailing place, a bit where we can do car detailing because we're already set up to do the detailing. We did a little bit of that this last summer, so we were looking
You mentioned thrift store. What about Goodwill? They have
Oh, they
stores. Can't they give you, share with you? Why they have
the Goodwill? Well, they're a nonprofit, but they're in business. I have to say that I haven't felt warm and cuddly from a lot of other nonprofits, except one, and that was Loaves and Fishes, and they've been great and very, very nice. And Janet at Loaves and Fishes has always been helpful with me, and I go down there and get veterans and help them if I can there at Loaves and Fishes. They've been the competitive group.
Yeah.
There's a lot of groups that are competitive for grants. Grant money is a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
but thrift store, until you open it and you have things in it, it will take your energy and your effort.
Yeah.
Just to put things, set it aside to be able to sell it one day.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's worth it. Your time or your effort. You have other things to do.
Yeah.
I believe. Because you will have a lot of energy to set up that store, and where the things comes, donation again, to wait until people bring things for donation, and then you put it in the store, then you sell it. Oh my God.
Well, our power of intention. We're waiting for Source Creator to send it to us. So we just keep putting that energy out, telling people.
I believe we open subjects in our shows as community service also, to let people know what's going on around them. And sometimes people call just because they like what they hear, they like the program, they like the person, they like the idea.
Yeah.
That's main issue, to serve the community through programs.
Yeah.
That's why we are here, like community service also, our shows. Yeah. So hopefully someone will hear the message and see something in it for him or her.
Do you hear the message?
Clearly.
Hear the message.
Wait for me. We'll be back soon. So you can tell my viewers that my guest, Windwalker, have a good sense of humor, and his background also, I know he's talented with music, because I was helping his show, taping his show, and I heard something. That's why I brought the things to you through Windwalker. He will give you some good entertainment through his background.
So thank you. Part of growing up as a half-breed, it was an interesting world. It was sort of like walking on a fence line. You know, you can't fall over on either side. You know, you might get stumbled. And I remember my grandmother telling me that I couldn't play with the Indian kids because I'm blue-eyed, and Native kids were taught to hate the blue-eyed devil. And so I never could understand that. So I learned about racism really fast as a young person, that, you know, I look Indian with features, but I look white, I'm fair-skinned. So there was always that, never really being one or the other, you know what I'm saying? And so it was something I always was conscious of. So very conscious of racism. I don't like racist people. I'm not real fond of racist people, and that's
because you suffer yourself.
Right. I was aware of what racism was. Yeah, and it's the same in our cultures. We talked about how people have an opinion of Muslims. You know, they have no idea who a Muslim or what a Muslim person is. You know, and you always give me tidbits, and it's exciting to learn. And we're always finding out that there was so many similarities. It's amazing. So it's exciting because it's like my grandmother once told me. She said that you don't need to speak the person's language. Just feed them.
Yes.
She says, just give them food. And she was real serious about that, you know, just give them food, you know.
Absolutely.
And so she was a really holy woman in my life, and gave me the foundation that I have today.
Muslim religion, you cannot sleep if your neighbor is hungry. You have to feed your neighbor.
Yeah. See, and so as indigenous, it's an indigenous thing. It's a tribal thing, cultural thing that keeps people in the right mind. You know, it's not about the car you're driving or the house you're living in. You know,
God rules on earth for humanity, and started with early time through that Native American, through that generations after generation, and religion after religion, but all of it, God rules on earth for humanity.
Yeah. Well, I think spirit doesn't know any religion.
Yes.
Spirit only
any
knows
color, any religion.
only knows love and light, man. You know, just a
Absolutely.
lot of love. You know, if you don't, you
Absolutely.
know. So I was sharing with you earlier that this is the flute. Now the flute was the courting instrument and for the Native American. And this was the Cheyenne woman would go out by the teepee and wrap in a white blanket or something white, and the male would play the flute. Now, if he was a pretty good flute player, then the father or the bride would probably say, "Okay, you can date or marry her."
So before he asked for marriage,
He had to talk.
he should play the flute.
He's got to be a good flute player. If he's not, then he has to be a good hunter and really impress mother. So it's one of the other.
To play the flute easier than the mother-in-law to be.
It's a lot easier to learn to play the flute than go out and kill a lot of, bring the animals in. So, and then we talked about the Kokopelli. You know, the medicine man Kokopelli was a disfigured person, and instead of him being a disabled person and disfigured and being rejected from the tribe, the native people looked at him as a holy man. So, I mean, our culture looks at people that are disfigured or in a wheelchair or have a facial problem, whatever it is, they shun them. But this culture said, "Oh, they're so different that they're blessed by Creator." So anyway, he was a disfigured man, but he was an excellent flute player. So he learned to go to village and play the flute for barren women that could not have children.
Okay.
And so the story goes that he would go in the teepee with a woman and play the flute, and that she would have a child. And so we're not sure if it was the flute that created the child, but anyway, that's how the Kokopelli story got going.
He blessed them.
He blessed them, all right.
Okay,
that's right.
with the flute.
Yeah, with the flute,
let's
right?
Hear the flute.
Okay, so. Sorry, it's dry play. And then the next instrument that we talk about, this is, everyone knows that the drum is associated with Native Americans, but the drum is really associated with all our tribal cultures. Your people play drum. It's very important. But the drum is represents the heartbeat. And it represents woman in some areas. Okay, so the first thing you'll hear is in your mother's is the heartbeat. Yeah, and that's what your mother did when you were born. I'll do. Oh hey. Oh, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, oh, hey, oh, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, 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 hey, oh, hey, oh, oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, oh.
What does that mean?
Oh, greetings.
Greeting.
When we go into everything is in a circular. The hoop, our sweat lodge is in a hoop, It's the womb of Mother Earth. When we sweat in a sweat lodge, we're actually going back into the womb of Mother Earth and being reborn and getting clean. When the drum is the hoop of life, we have the four directions, each direction being, east, north, or south, west, and north. But there's also Mother Earth, Creator, and then there's a seventh direction, which is knowledge. Where do you think we hide that?
Seven skies, I guess.
The seventh is hid in our heart. Knowledge is hid in our heart. And as we were talking earlier, if we had people that had knowledge, that they would have a good heart. So that's the seven directions, as they say. So everything is in the hoop of the circle of life. Even the turtle rattle represents woman. There's 13 spots in the turtle, and it's for the moons. So it's the female that's the healer. So in the native culture, the Jesus Christ, if you will, is the white buffalo woman. She's just like the Christians have Jesus. The natives have the white buffalo woman, and like the Christian church has the sacrament, the altar, the Bible. We have the pipe. So the pipe represents woman, man, body, and spirit. As the two come together, they're one in body and spirit. So we use those in weddings. We're going to actually use that I'm getting married in 2 months to Betty, and so we're going to use the pipe in the ceremony. Yeah. She wants me to play the flute. I don't want to do all that.
You will have a traditional?
No, it's not going to be traditional, but we will do the pipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we can
tape
it and show it to our viewers.
Yeah, you're going to be welcome. You're welcome to the wedding, though. I want you to come. I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
I would love to.
You will.
I'm happy for you. You are a good person.
Thank you.
But Yahoo, like you call, and I always make a comment about Arab word. Palestinian or Middle Eastern, we call and call and call. We call it Yahoo, the whole world. Yahoo, Yahoo, Yahoo for years and years and years. One person say Yahoo and made it like this and become Yahoo on internet.
Really?
Yahoo.
Really?
The same Yahoo.
The same Yahoo?
Calling.
It's a chant. Well, it's really interesting.
It is a chant.
Yeah, it's
the same with the meaning of Yahoo on the internet. Yeah. Calling people.
So the chants and the songs are vibrations of communication. Yes. As our speech is vibrations, it raises our vibrations, and we connect to each other. Yes.
Before the language, voice was up, down, and things. Some languages is just voices.
Right.
No letters.
Well, that's the chants. The joints are just.
That's what the whole world started.
Yeah, we got a lot in common.
Absolutely. Yeah. The whole world have things in common.
Yeah.
What do you think? The world start the same way, and it will end with the plan of the Creator who created the same way.
All right.
So everywhere you will find something.
We should do a big drum workshop where we bring all the Muslims and all the Native Americans.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So I think nice to have the music.
Thank you.
At the end of the show.
Thank you.
What can you play for us?
All right.
Can you play something, small thing?
What do you need?
To close the show.
The flute?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I would like to do, instead of the flute, I'd like to do one more song. I'd like to, because I'm really feel spirit moved.
Nice to have
the
something
spirit moves
to say before say goodbye to the viewers. Nice to give them something.
Let's see. The flute's not tuned up very good tonight, so
okay. That's nice. That's nice. Thank you very much.
Thank
really.
you. Thank you for having me.
Sometime we will have a show specifically for traditional cultural things to show our viewers.
Let's get a bunch of drummers here.
Yeah, why
All right.
not?
All right.
Why not?
All
I
right.
would love to have it.
All right.
And when we have Cultural Day, you have to share your
No problem.
background cultural.
No problem.
Okay, actually, on behalf of my viewers, I would like to thank you for coming to our show, and really would love to have you again and again, talking about your good job for the community, how
Thank
it
you.
works, where you are now, what kind of help you need, and all the addresses will be on the screen for the viewers. Hopefully, they will be in touch with you.
All right.
I know my viewers, our viewers in general, have good hearts.
Good.
So we hope and we count on them.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for
Thank
coming.
you so much.
And for you, my viewers, I know it's something new, but always when we bring a guest to our show, he has a message, or she has a message, or they have something to inspire you. I hope you got something from our guest, Windwalker, and I hope you will be in touch with him if you have any idea how to help in his organization for better tomorrow, for veterans, or for any person need help to control his life. Hopefully, we will hear from you. Hopefully, Windwalker will hear from you. Hopefully, together, we'll do better for tomorrow. And with this message, I'll let you go and see you next time.